Okay, so it was just a part of the job to get them over there.
Yeah, I got NYU. I got New York University.
Oh, okay, okay. What kind of vehicle you drive?
A bus.
I know, but what regular school bus or you got one of them fancy ones?
I got one of the fancy ones.
Nice. You have to send us a picture sometime.
I think you can see it. I think you can see it right now. Cause I turned my video on because I don't want you to be going back and forth.
Oh, I see it. Okay, okay, I see you.
They say, "Oh my God, is this bus hard to drive?" I said, "No." But if you ask me, can I park a car? I'm gonna say no again.
Right, right.
I can park a bus. I can't park a car though.
Okay.
Don't tell nobody else I said that though.
No, your secret's safe with me, buddy. Hey, Jason Richter, how are you, my friend? Got Jonathan on the line. Jonathan, welcome. Thanks for joining us, my friend.
Okay, it was on mute. Sorry. Hey, Victor, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How's your week going?
Good.
Yeah. Got
Yeah,
some fillers going on out there.
getting there. Just trying to get in a rhythm. I'm in Dallas right now. Actually, my girlfriend's oldest daughter just had her first baby, so that's her first grandbaby. And we're out in Dallas right now visiting
Oh,
with
got
them.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
boy or girl?
Boy, his name's Maverick.
Oh, okay, Maverick.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
you'll be an Air Force pilot.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think. And dad's a big. His dad's a big Dallas fan.
Oh,
Loves
okay.
the Cowboys and the Mavericks, and maybe I don't know. I haven't asked him yet if that's part of where
Right.
that came from.
It had to be something to do with that, right? Or he's
Yeah.
a big Top Gun fan, one or the other.
Right. That's what yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Baby healthy, everything?
Yeah. Doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Let's see who we got. We got Vernon Shields coming on. So you guys, you know what we do on every Wednesday here? We get together for a couple of hours. We actually have a couple of groups that are part of this role play session. And if you guys aren't familiar, the methodology that we use and practice with or on is Claude Diamond's guts sales system. If you don't know what that is or you don't know who that is, he's a sales trainer, been doing it for a number of years, 20 plus, and he developed a system called Guts. And it's called Guts for a reason, because we have a methodology that drills right in. You have to be somewhat courageous, and you kind of have to, you have to be real straightforward and get your stuff accomplished if you want to be successful in sales. And one of the things that he says is that the salesman is the most important person on the call. Now, which isn't to say that obviously that the seller is not important, but what it's saying is that you have got to assume the position that you're going to go in there and you're going to act from a position of strength, and that you're going to know exactly what it is that you are looking for and what you can exchange for that. And you're going to set the ground rules. I actually have a little, for those of you who haven't joined us before. Hey, Mag, what's up, buddy?
What's going on? What's going on?
You got it, man. Good to see you.
Likewise.
So here's a little printout. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, so this is sort of the methodology in a nutshell right here. And basically we operate under 3 rules. Always set the agenda, let people know why you called and how this call is going to go. It sets you up as a professional and somebody who knows, what the heck they're doing. It gives you a posture that allows you to control the situation a lot more than if you just go in asking permissions. You've got You got 3 minutes to qualify or disqualify the prospect. There's a number of reasons for that. The number one reason, obviously, is you don't want to waste your time or theirs. It's like, okay, let's find out if in fact you want to talk to me about this, if there's a deal here, and if we should move forward. And we're going to do it quickly so as to free up my mental space and to allow me to get to the next prospect who is going to allow me to do a deal with them. So there's a reason for that. You must fire an unqualified prospect. So immediately, let them know, you know what, this probably is not going to work for us, Mr. Seller. So hold on, what happened here? Oh, there we go. It's not going to work for us. So, is this over? And just let them go. The whole idea of those are to move them from what normally starts off someplace in the 4, 5, or 6 area in terms of their motivation, and you want to get them over to an 8, 9, or 10 so that you actually have a chance to close the deal with them. If you cannot move them to an 8, 9, or 10, it's probably not a go. There's nothing going to happen there. We don't believe in, continuous follow-up. So here's what happens, especially with new people when it comes to the follow-up process. You get this one deal. This one deal looks like it's got all the potential in the world. You can make $1 million on it. You can do all sorts of things. But because you haven't been trained or don't understand sometimes the motivations or lack thereof of people, you're following up with this person. You're, wondering if you need to call them back, if you need to do all sorts of, breaking down, explaining, doing all of that with these people. And the truth of the matter is that you really never want to go there. You don't want to get onto that that wheel where you're just chasing somebody, because the name of the game in real estate is to have a board full of potential deals, assuming that half of them are not going to make it over the finish line. So if you find yourself at any point working on one deal, on 2 deals or whatever, you're going to find yourself really frustrated, and it's going to start to move further and further and further away from you in terms of your belief. So it's very important that if you can't move them to a motivation level, you got to let them go. Fire an unqualified prospect. And so the conversation has 3 sections. We're going to set the agenda, we're going to ask qualifying questions, and then we're going to close. And each one of those sections has its own particular set of steps that you want to do. Now, even though these steps are numbered, they don't have to occur in any particular manner. You will hop oftentimes based on the conversation back and forth between these items. But what you do need to do is get all of this information. If I was to point to this, I'm not going to go over every item on here because I'll be talking for the next 15 minutes. But the 2 most important parts of this right here is really the why and the money. Okay. And then, obviously the timing, and then to get their commitment, those are huge. But their why is going to be the anchor that allows you to determine what you're going to be able to do with this prospect. Okay. If their why is if you can't get to their real reason why, you'll probably find yourself chasing this prospect, because you're not going to be able to plug into and answer their real need. And until you answer their real need and build that relationship based on the fact that you're the person that can resolve their issue, it becomes more and more difficult to try to close these deals. And then, of course, the money, there's so many aspects to that. And, we'll get to that on some of these. Hopefully, we'll do some role playing today. Last week, we got into a lot of different sort of deals and deal structure and things like that, which is fine. We can do that. But the idea, obviously, on this call is to try to look back maybe at some of the calls that you have been making and see where it might be some breakdown, where you might need some improvement, how we can, help you break through some barriers or, whatever. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let's see who has joined us. Oh, there's Aluz. Hi, Aluz. How are you?
Hey, Vic. I'm good.
Good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad that you could make it. Jaime Cuevas. Jaime, my man. Good to see you, buddy. And let's see. Vernon DeShields. Vernon's been trying to get in here for a minute. Looks like we got some issues with his audio. So, does anybody have anything that they've run across this week? Any kind of conversations, anything that they would like to ask, talk about, role play? Don't be shy. We only have, right now, we only have 8 people on, so we have plenty of time to work on your stuff. Jason, you run across anything this week, my man, that kind of challenged you, or?
No, not really. Not really. Okay. So a lot of this week I spent, I'm a real estate agent, so I had to do
you're an agent.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
And I was doing my courses. Every 2 years you have to do continuing ed, and I was doing that, and so I didn't do a lot as far as I didn't talk to too many people this week, but
Okay.
on the way back from the airport last night, I was speaking to sales. Zach, my stepson, he started talking about carrot cake at this place, and by the time he was done at describing it, I said, we're going this week sometime and get some of that carrot cake. So
he sold you.
yeah.
Kids are the best salesmen in the world.
Yeah,
because they don't hear no, like no doesn't register. It just means not now, or I have to change the way I'm asking them.
Yeah.
Right. If we could take on that same sort of way of being, how many more sales can we get done? Right.
I love it. Yeah, I guess that's what I was getting at. Just if you could walk people down the path to a lease option, to a deal, the same way as you do with carrot cake, and I guess you probably can. A lot of the same stuff's involved.
Yeah, there's a way. There's a way.
The cream cheese frosting, the layers, the sauce that they drizzle on it. And he said it just melts in your mouth. And yeah, I said we're going. Almost like Royale with cheese.
Wow! Right.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. I'm going.
Best movie ever.
Yep, absolutely. Pulp Fiction.
Oh my God!
Love Sam Jackson.
Okay, so why am I picturing cheesecake? Now, why is that all in my mind now, though?
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, because the descriptives,
Yeah. Very, very good. Very good. So it's interesting because within that conversation, if we listen to that, you really can kind of learn a lot about talking to people and uncovering their motivations. And even in the way you were describing it, you were talking about how he engaged your senses. Even just now when you were describing it, what made it work is you engaged my senses, and probably everybody else on the call, right? We can picture it, we can see it, we can imagine how it could taste, right? And if that's really our job in terms of when we get on the phone with people and their situation, right, is we've got to try to paint a picture such that they can see themselves through your help getting that feeling, that sensation, that sense that they want out of this deal. I think that's really the key to locking somebody in and making sure that what it does is it lets them know that and that you see and that you're committed and that you're their guy and that you want to help them, right? So it kind of now builds a barrier to all of the other people that are going to be calling. Like there's a point in there at which now nobody else is going to come, into the fray and get any headway whatsoever. It's like, sorry, bro, the gate is locked. And if once you get there, you know you're in a good place. Mag, what's going on with you, man? You got anything for us? I know you always got something because you work all the time.
So from my side, I just been I try to connect with some investors to see if they down to co-wholesale.
Okay.
None of them are right now. The deals are difficult to find, at least here. And also I created a like what Justin said, like a schedule. So the VA can pre-qualify those leads, set up a schedule for her to actually pull those leads out and set up a time. So what I did was every Wednesday she's gonna do the pulling, and then automated REI should have it ready by Friday. Friday she's gonna get that and set up for Saturday, because usually people sometimes they take long to respond on the weekend. So what I do is I'm setting up for Saturday the text blast, and then Saturday afternoon, and then they have Sunday, Monday she comes back and she starts following up and call the leads.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go back a little bit too, and I've been hearing this a lot, which is really strange. Even some of the big players, they're talking about how they're not getting the number of leads that they were before, at least quality leads, right? So it looks like everybody is kind of struggling a little bit in sourcing, which, of course, that's not good news, especially when you consider some of the budget that some of these guys are spending in order to acquire high quality leads. So, with that said, one of the things that I've kind of looked at is specializing. What do I mean by specializing? If you can find a particular niche, especially if it's a niche that caters to low-hanging fruit, like I always talk about, like lease options, right? Especially in this environment, lease options are the cheapest leads you could possibly get, as you know, right? Like even if you just had to go online, set up a Zillow notification where you put in and you have your search criteria and you save it and you set it to notify you about those areas every day. That's literally free leads, right? That you can go. Now, here's the other advantage of the free leads. You can practice all of your sales pitch and you don't have to feel like you lost.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a free lead. So if you're going to burn out a lead, you want to burn out a free lead. And so, what it prompted me to think is people should be in this kind of training, should be doing this kind of practicing in order to get to the point at which they're able to now close on these, what turn out to be some expensive leads. Even when you pull them down from systems that you purchase, like for instance, we have like Automated REI or PropStream or FreedomSoft or whatever it is, right? You're paying a monthly a monthly charge for each one of those systems, and then you turn around after you pay the monthly charge, you have to do the skip tracing, and then you have to do everything else that goes along with it. You send out the text messages. Now, one of the things that we look to do is 2,500 text messages a week, right? And that is really difficult to do. Now, what I have found, and maybe some of you who have tried the process yourselves, what I have found it's extremely difficult for one person, even one person with one BA, to stay on top of that. Like you're going to be on the phones quite a bit that's a full-time job at 2,500 leads.
Yeah.
When Justin says that they're doing 2,500, well, Justin has a whole team. So they can get on 2,500 leads. It is really difficult. I know I'm trying, and it's like, okay, you literally have got to be on the phone all the time in order to manage 2,500 leads.
How many leads do you do, Vic?
When you say do I do what
Do you have like a target? I know Justin is doing 2,500.
Well, 25 has been my target, but I'll be honest with you, I have not reached it. This week, our campaign is going out with, I believe, we're at 1,600 leads.
Okay. So out of that, how many qualified people do you have?
This is the first week that we're going to put out that many leads. So I don't really even know the answer to that question. I'll be able to answer that more next week when we get together, because by that time I would have gotten text messages out to the whole list, and I would have some numbers to come back with you with. Typically what I've noticed though, and I really have to get better at my KPIs and looking and see what's turning out what. I tend to be a front end guy, so I just do the work. I put it in, and then I deal with, what comes out, which is not the absolute best way, quite honestly, to run a business. But so what I've found is that there's a whole lot of things on my plate, and I've got to figure out ways to sort of control the activity, not only control the activity, but also organize the activity, track the activity, and know where I'm spending money, where I'm getting results, and focus on finding that particular area, that sweet spot in which, I can get the most results. So I'm actually still going through that. I've been sort of fortunate in as much as that I've got, like Mag was talking about, I've got a bunch of co-wholesale deals. So I've got a cool little pipeline, but I haven't been able, or I haven't at this point really, locked it in and systemized it to the level that, I hope to do here within the next couple of months. So
Makes sense.
I know that was a long-winded answer to that, but that's about it. I've just been fortunate enough to get enough deals to have a pretty, solid board of potential deals that I'm working through right now. If it dries up, I'll be in trouble though, because one thing I've realized is that you need to try to put a new deal on your board every single week.
Yeah.
Every single week, you need a new deal on your board that you're working on. If you don't have a new deal on your board, you need to sit down on a Saturday or Sunday whenever you do your business recap, and you need to try to figure out why you don't have a new deal on the board, and you might have to, make a shift, do something else, be more nimble. One of the things that I see that people do, myself, I was doing it quite a bit, was I was kind of all over the place. I was trying to do all kind of deals. I was trying to do wholesale deals. I was trying to do subject to deals. Well, not so much subject to. I'm actually just getting into the whole subject to arena because I didn't want to add it to my plate before the time was right. But I was doing, lease options, sandwich lease options, wholesale deals, looking at fix and flips, which I really, I've done fix and flips in the past. I've done a number of them actually. And at this point right now, I'm truly not that motivated to do a fix and flip unless it's in my neighborhood. Because fix and flips can be, oh my God, they can be tremendously taxing and very difficult on your wallet and on your psyche. So, you have to be real careful. And I'm getting ready to relocate right now. So I'm gonna have to go and set up a whole new team, a whole new process and stuff where I'm going. So, you know, not necessarily looking forward to that. Hey, you guys got some role play. Let's see. Jonathan said, not to mention cost for material is higher now from what I hear. Jonathan, you're absolutely right, my friend. They expect, as a matter of fact, I was looking at a report that they expect that the material costs over the next 6 months will increase as much as 45%.
Wow.
Oh,
Why is
That
that?
changes that changes your numbers considerably.
time.
If you want to get a sense of it, just walk into Home Depot right now and start looking at some building material costs. And you'll start seeing they've edged up considerably. Man, you go to get like roofing paper, you know, it used to be, you know, I think 80 some dollars a roll. It's not like 120. It's crazy.
Why is it going up like that, Victor? You know?
A lot of reasons, most of which have to do with what the government is doing right now in terms of some of the tariffs. And of course, COVID has had a big effect too, because you just don't have the workforce in some of these areas. So a lot of the shipping, a lot of the everything that used to go on before that, you know, they had 20 people doing it, they now have 5 people doing it.
Right.
So it's slower, it costs more. The shipping has no volume. So for the volume that they do have, they have to charge a higher price in order to just stay afloat. So now they're traveling, even the trucks, they're traveling with much smaller loads, and they're having to charge more just to keep those loads, those trains, those trucks, those planes, those ships moving. So we're going to probably see this increase for a while. And now we're in an environment where we're in flux as far as leadership goes, because we have these elections coming up, and we have no idea what's going to happen there. That could go sideways. And as long as we're in this turmoil, I think that in a lot of ways, a lot of the rest of the world has lost a little bit of confidence in us. So they're like reluctant to engage to any large degree, right? They're towing the watering us for everything, which, you know, if I'm them, I don't blame them. But a lot of economies are dependent on us. And right now, we're not doing a very good job of leading. So, you know, there's a number of reasons why the cost is going up, and unfortunately, none of which we can do much about.
Right.
We're going to have to absorb it. So at this point right now, I'm not huge on doing fix and flips, rehabs, none of that stuff like that, right? It's just not really worth it. The pretty house environment seems to be still relatively good. What I'm finding though is that when I'm calling these pretty house people, it used to be I would get a lead and I could, I'll sit on the lead for a little while or whatever, whether it was on purpose or not. And I'd call the lead in, a couple of days, a few days or whatever. What I'm finding now is that if I wait at all to call a lead, the longer I wait, the more fatigued the seller is. They're annoyed, they've gotten 1,000 calls from everybody offering them every single kind of deal. They're very defensive, and they've in their mind decided, you know what, I'm just selling it to, retail. Like they've closed down completely, and it makes it more difficult for you to go in there and really be able to show them how whatever your plan is, if you thought it out, is going to benefit them more. So now I'm finding that timing on leads is becoming more critical. Like if you get a lead, you better call them right away so you be first in line. And I haven't been first in line in a minute. Like, everybody I call basically has received a bunch of calls already. So that's just the environment that we're in. And so it's more imperative that you get really good at this conversation, this ability to give good phone, the ability to close somebody, the ability to get to their motivations and have them stay on board with you. Because I can't lie, folks, this game is not getting any easier right now. It's a challenge, but it's a good paying challenge. It doesn't take much for you to, do really well. So, Mag, let me ask you, what is your focus right now in terms of types of deals you're pursuing?
Yeah, so I'm doing the lease options.
Yeah.
And also the automated REI, and also I'm starting to figure it out, a new driving for dollars, whenever I can, and whatever the county stuff with Arturo, which I'm gonna talk to him about.
Yeah, I think Arturo actually came on just now. He's actually on here with us. But yeah, I think if you can control your neighborhood, your area, I'm actually excited about dropping down into Vegas, even though I know it's swarming with investors, and some of them are high level, high quality investors. But I'm actually looking forward to landing there and starting to set up my network and my contacts and really start to get a foothold in there, put out some ads and things where people know that I'm that guy in that area, sort of thing. And I think that right now that might be something that we could all do that really helps us. Like, we have to develop an identity. One of the things that I notice about Arturo, and Arturo, if I say anything that's off base, you can feel free to jump in. But one thing I notice about Arturo is that he's kind of made his whole aim to become that guy in his area. Like, he's not really doing a bunch of stuff all over the place, even though he was talking about partnering up with some other people. But at this point right now, he's just really, making his money and doing really well just by becoming that guy in his area, right? Which makes it easy. So to go back to your driving for dollars, it allows you to do so much. It allows you to get the lay of the land. It allows you to see, who the other players are, because you'll see their signs and you'll see, stuff that's going on. It allows you to see if there are any rehabs. You can pull up on the rehabber. You can build your list of project managers, of people to come in and do the work for you. Carpenters and tile layers and whatever, general contractors, whoever, and start to build your network of people. And one thing about building your network of people, it actually drives your costs down, because now you can kind of control the cost. You have a team, and now you guys can put together a plan, and what everybody is going to make on something, and you agree that you're willing to take less because it's continuous. You're continuously going to be marketing. You're continuously going to be uncovering deals. You're continuously going to be developing your market. So we're going to keep you in work, and for doing that, you don't have to, pay the new guy who's coming in thinking he's only going to get one job. Now he has to try to charge you $1 million for that one job. So there's a benefit to just locking down your hood, so to speak. So, in terms of
that's correct. Hey, Victor. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Arturo?
Yeah,
How you doing, buddy?
I always, again, when it's like games, right? You always play better in a home game than an away game. Again, right. That's something that your home gives you. So in order for you to try to play away games, you gotta know your home. You gotta know every single little trick. You gotta know how to get stuff in your area. You gotta know who's buying, who's selling, what area is selling, what's the new square footage per area, what type of material they're using. And again, when I started this business, like I told you guys, I put myself, and you know what, Arturo, you have no money. You have zero money to start this. There's no buying courses. How are you going to do it? So literally, like I was telling you guys, everything, a lot of information is free. So it's just a matter of, we have the time. Maybe we don't have the resources as far as money, but we have a computer, we have a public library, we have a hotspot that might be free, and we have time. Again, who cares about not sleeping? Hey, I can go 3 or 4 days waking up at in the morning to go to work if I'm still working. And with a headache, I just take a couple of aspirins and I go do my monotone job where I already know how to do. And then I get out of there, and now my real job begins. Now I got to be sharp. Now it's already 5, 6 p.m. I have 3 or 4 cups of coffee in my body. And now I want to go into the computer and be excited. Okay, now what am I going to learn? What got recorded today? Who recorded it? Who recorded an assumed name to do a DBA, to do business? Who's recording new LLC structures? Who's doing deeds of trust? Who's doing lien notices? See, all this info is gold if you know how to use it. When I started, I kind of had that falsehood that, oh, I don't have the resources, so I can't be successful. And that a lot of people fall into that trap. They think that they need to pay for something to get something back. Well, what's the most valuable thing in the world? Time. I'll bet you if you sold your time to a 95-year-old guy that has cancer, he'll pay you whatever he has because he has no time. We have the time. That's the most valuable thing people have. As the higher you go into the business, the less time you have. So right now that you might be starting, you have all the time in the world. People, CEOs would like to have your free time because they're getting pulled left and right, and they got a 15-minute intervals where there's a next meeting, and the next meeting they can't even go to sleep because as soon as they wake up, they got a meeting to go to. So we have the time. Value that you have the time right now. Value that you're free enough to be able to learn and do the things that you want. So the resources of knowing your market is, man, that's gold.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you jumping in there with that, man. I thought about something when you were talking, and is the zero money like a philosophy, right? Like Ace talks about that a lot. And sometimes it's funny, I was thinking about this yesterday because all of a sudden, you get a little bit of money in your account and you start, thinking you can afford certain things, and you start buying, a new system, or you start trying this new product, or you start doing, and that is a trap that you can get into really easily in this business. So one of the things that Arturo talks about is, get your philosophy in place, get your work ethic in place, use as much cheap stuff as you possibly can. What happens is you start to develop your methodology and your processes. Once you do that, you can know exactly what ancillary products to buy that allow you to then go in at a price point that makes sense and start to build your business like that. So I love the philosophy that he uses in terms of that, because I'll be honest with you, I'll probably blown, $5,000-10,000 on just testing shit, right? Like just trying something out, and it's, 2 months later or whatever, I find out that it's not really the deal. But at this point now, I'm $300 in. Then the next thing I'm a couple $100 in on that, and that sort of thing. So I appreciate you coming on and saying what you're saying about the no cost and using your energy and your time to be more effective than thinking that you're going to use money to get to that point. Because as long as you're in this game, and as long as you go online and search anything real estate, you're going to have 200 shiny new toys a day.
That is correct. A lot of, again, it's just the nature of the beast of everybody telling you automate it and do this. And again, for me, that it's a disservice, because the people that automate, that are trying to do the automation of everything, they're probably 2-3 years into the business, the actual ones that become successful.
Yeah.
Because it's not about getting out of the business as soon as you get your first deal. Who has told me? Who can say that I can score a 3-pointer in a game and then I'm quitting? I'm a pro. I'm already a
right. Yeah.
NBA champion. That's BS. You gotta be in the business. You don't want to get out of that business. You want to learn. You want to be out there doing reps and doing suicides and doing all this stuff. You want to be in the business. Like for me, my philosophy is 10% of whatever I was making is for my self-education. Okay, not for programs, not for systems, for education. What technique can I learn where I can leverage my time to do that? Like SEO automation. You can pay somebody $500 to do that. Or maybe you can buy a course for $300 and you know the knowledge and you can implement it in your market and in other markets. There's things that you can pay to get done, or there's things that can teach you how to get done. It depends on what level you are, but it's always better when you're starting to learn how to do something than have somebody do it for you. And again, don't play this game that I want to automate this stuff. Again, it's not. Whoever's selling you that automation is key, they're selling you a course. Unfortunately, it is what it is. They're selling you the course of doing this and doing that. It hurts when I see people that they want to have their first deal and they already want to automate. They want to leave the business. Oh, I want to now do this automatic. It's not gonna work, bro. You did one set of reps and you want to be a bodybuilder. That's not gonna work. Nowhere can you tell me that you can do one rep and be success. If you can teach me that, then tell me and I'll go into that business.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. This is a muscle that has to be built, and it has to be built over time, and you're going to fail, and you're going to go through a bunch of highs and lows in terms of, oh, this deal is closed, this is a slam dunk, boom, it falls apart at the 11th and a half hour. That's just the nature of the business. But what happens is, as time goes by, you start to be able to anticipate a lot of the stuff that's going to happen. You see it in advance, and then you just do the steps necessary to make sure that you close these deals. So you learn over time, but there is no shortcut. Like, there is no shortcut. The only thing you can do is commit to stay in the business. And if you start spending a whole lot of money, buying every shiny new toy, buying every new system, being involved, and I can tell you firsthand, I'm guilty as hell of that, right? Like, I had to literally back the hell up, because it was like, I'm all of a sudden, I'm spending $500 a month, but I don't have a deal this month. Not a good look. Not a good look. You have to avoid that at all costs, because, like I said, as soon as you search something online relative to real estate, you are going to have 9,000 new toys thrown at you on every single day that you're out there. So you got to keep your head down, figure out what your particular philosophy is, and don't add another one until you lock one down. So in other words, if you're in the lease option game, if you're in the pretty house game, spend your time learning everything about that game. Once you have that game on point, then go to the next game. It's hard. It's really hard, because everybody, especially when you hear some of the sales pitches from some of these gurus, oh my God, you're convinced that if you spend this $997, you're going to have 200 deals in your pipeline tomorrow morning. And they do it with such verve and enthusiasm that you're like, yeah, I'm getting that, right? $997 later. And then a week goes by and you realize you haven't even cracked open the system yet. And then you go and crack open the system and you find that these were recorded in 2015.
Whoa.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
Avoid that stuff, that like Ace is saying, you put in the work, put in the time. Your community is probably your best source. Like, if you can learn your community and start to build relationships, start to network with the groups in your area, start to network with the players in your area, find out, who the people are, when you can have conversation and drop names, it makes you sound like you're in the game. And, don't drop it if you don't know anything about them. But if they're in your area, you can find out everything you need about it. And most of these guys, to be quite honest with you, there's a few of them who, they think that, their poop don't stink and, they're above you and they won't give you the time of day. But what I found is that most of these guys, and ladies, I should say, most of them, they will share time with you. They will as much as they have anyway, right? But they're approachable, and they're always looking for high quality partners. Always. You're always looking for high quality. You're looking for high quality partners, and you will be for the rest of your career. So, be the high quality partner that they're looking for. And, you'll start to find yourself in regular conversations about deals that become available. Because a lot of these guys, what I've seen is that they will pass on the deal because, like we're talking about staying in your wheelhouse, they'll pass on the deal. They'll pass the deal down to you because it's just not what they're doing right now, or it's not something. Say, look, knock this out, whatever. I'll walk you through it, whatever. Just break me off, a little chip, and they'll help you. You'll get deals through your associations, and then that'll start to anchor you into the business. You guys have any role play scenarios that you guys want to do? Come on, man, somebody play with me. let's pretend we're on the phone together.
I'll be the seller.
Okay, all right, let's do it. All right, so let's see. I'm going to call you, and we are going to. Do you have an idea? You don't have to tell me what it is. You have an idea what your scenario looks like, what you want to try to sell me?
Yeah, I have an idea.
Okay, all right. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Oh, hi. You know what? You got to help me out. I'm having a lot of trouble with your first name, and I do not want to butcher it up. Is it Alu? Can you help me out?
It's Aluz.
Hi, Aluz. How are you?
Aluz, Victor. Aluz.
Yeah, there you
go. Look at Ace.
It took me like 5 months to figure it out.
So, Aluz, hey, look, I have your number here. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but what we do, we're in the real estate business, and I was wondering, maybe do you have a property for sale or something like that?
I actually have 2 properties for sale.
Oh, okay. So, that explains everything. Hey, do you have a couple of minutes to talk?
Yeah, sure. I have a couple of minutes.
You don't sound sure.
Well, I'm running a daycare, so.
Got it. Okay, so I might hear some babies in the
30
background.
minutes, if it'll take that long.
Okay, look, so what I like to do is ask you a few questions about the property. You can ask me a few questions, and if you find that this is something we can do, I'd like to move forward. If not, feel free to fire me, okay?
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah, I don't want to waste your time. I know you're busy. I know you got the daycare over there going. So I see this property. Is this the one on Main Street, the one we're talking about?
Right, that's the one.
Okay, all right, great. Can you tell me a little bit about that property?
Well, that property is for my parents. They passed away about last year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I'm not living in the property. I really don't want to deal with it.
Is the property vacant, or is anyone living in the property?
No one's living in the property right now.
Oh, wow, it's vacant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How long has it been vacant?
It's been vacant for about for a few months now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And does it have a note on it? Are you paying a mortgage on it?
It is free and clear.
Oh, that's cool. But you're having to do the maintenance and everything on there. Are you? How far away from you is the property?
Well, the property is in Miami, and I'm in Orlando.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a little bit. Do you have somebody down there that maintains it for you, or is that on you?
It's all on me.
Yeah. So tell me, Aluz, what would you like to see happen today?
Well,
what would you like to do with that property?
Well, you're the investor. You called me. You tell me what can you do? What can you do for me?
I can solve your problem is what I can do.
Okay.
But if you can help me out, you can tell me what your problem is, and we can figure out a way to solve it. How's that?
That sounds good.
Okay, well, great. So what would be if we were to fast forward to the month after we do this deal, what would you like that to look like for yourself?
As far as like payout?
Yeah. How much money would you like to have? What would it take? What would it look like?
Listen, Vic, I have 2 properties. I have 2 homes.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And if you can give me 400,000 for both properties, it's all yours.
400K for both properties.
Right.
Okay. All right. All right. So, all right, let's start with Main Street then.
Okay.
How soon do you want to move Main Street?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
30 days, no
What
later.
are you asking for Main Street?
200.
So you want 200 apiece?
Right. 200 apiece.
Okay. So Main Street is free and clear. What's the other one? What's the other property?
The other property is 555 Bay Street.
Bay? Okay. How much is Bay Street? How much is Bay Street? You're asking 200 for that also?
Right, right.
Now, let me ask you, how did you come up with, we're going to focus on one at a time.
Okay.
On Main Street, how did you come up with that price? Did you recently pay for an appraisal?
I actually did it.
No?
I just picked a number out of my hat. That was it. I just threw a number out there. I'm not sure how much.
Luz, I have to tell you that is literally the first time I've ever heard that answer.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's how it is though. Sometimes they just give you a number just to see if you'll, if you'll really purchase it for that number, and they're not sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the truth is we really don't know, what that property is worth at this time. Now, there had to be a reason why you came up with 200. Did you notice some other properties in the area for 200, or is that just an amount that you'd like to get?
Yeah, that's just the amount I would like to get.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
And how would you like to get that amount? Do you want it in cash at one time, or how are you looking to do that?
Hey, if I could get it cashed all at once, that'd be great.
You understand the ramifications of that, right?
It's a lump sum, a great lump sum of money.
There's that part.
Of all my problems.
There's also a great lump sum of tax liability.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
And why is that? How's that?
Because unless you use that money in a particular way according to government mandate, you are going to end up paying out a whole lot of capital gains tax on an amount like that. And you have 2 houses, so it's going to be difficult. One of them you can claim as your primary residence, but the other one is going to look like profit.
Gotcha. So
if you're looking at 40% of that, you're looking at giving up $80,000 in capital gains. Would you like me to show you how I could probably put some money in your pocket, allow you to stretch that out over a period of time, give you some money up front, and then give you some money on a monthly basis?
Hey, whatever I have to do to get my 200, I'm down for it.
That's perfect. That's perfect. What kind of condition is the property in? We're still talking about Main Street only right now. We'll get to what's the other street on Bay? We'll talk about Bay Street in a minute. But on Main Street, give me an idea what the condition is. What would it take to get that property up to 2020 standards?
Well, I know Main Street needs a new roof. The floor is very old school, so there's carpet in the kitchen, carpet in throughout the entire house.
Did you just say carpet in the kitchen?
Hey, there's some homes like that, to be honest. Yeah.
That's got to be the nastiest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So we need to pull that out.
So carpet throughout the entire house, painting, new roof, and I'm just going off of the what I did see when I visited my parents before they passed. So that's all I really know. That's all the repairs I know of. Okay.
All right. So I just kind of pulled up a little bit of information on your property online, and actually it looks like you weren't too far off on the 200. But unfortunately, that 200 is for properties that are in really good condition. So, you know, just to give you an idea, now, right now, you're talking about a new roof. As you probably noticed, everything has gone up as far as cost. So what used to be a $10,000 roof is now double that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, you know, and then all of the labor, everything associated with improvements nowadays, they're a lot higher. So unfortunately, I don't think I can do 200 on this property because it is needing the amount of work that it does. What is, if I was to come to you with a case of money, knowing what you know right now, how much could I give you and have you satisfied for this particular property?
Okay, so you're saying I cannot get 200,000 for my home. Okay, well.
Well, I mean, you know, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. 200,000 is about the market value of homes that are in, you know, good condition. So
okay.
Unfortunately, you know, that's probably not going to work.
Okay. Okay. So how much do you suggest I can, you know, get for the home?
Well, are you willing to do the work yourself?
No, I don't have time for that.
You don't have time for that?
No.
Okay. So that's what I do. So I could get the work done. Let me see. The best I could probably do on this property is if I was to give you all cash, the best I could do would be 85,000 cash.
85,000? No,
yeah,
that's not.
Because I'm looking right now at probably, you know, $60,000 worth of work. So you figure if you add that up, 80,000 plus the 60,000, you know, you're at what, 140 right there. And then, you know, by the time we have closing costs and everything associated with getting it all done, plus cost overruns, you know, we're looking at, you know, quite a task right here.
I don't know. I don't know. That's not going to work. That's too low. That's too low.
Okay, well, how close to that can we get?
Can we do 150? Because listen, you're not the first investor that tried to contact me and lowball, you know, give me a lowball offer. And I know you investors will make more after you sell my home. So let's meet in the middle somewhere. Well,
here's the deal. As an investor, you know, this is how I feed my family. So this has to be something that, you know, actually, you know, works for the both of us, right? Now, I've already broken down, you know, we're looking at about $60,000 worth of repairs to get this property up to 2020 standards and allow me to sell it for 200,000. At 200,000, I would still have to, you know, pay closing costs, maybe even list it with a realtor, pay commissions, and do all those things. So there's potentially $20,000 just to close the property.
Okay. And you said how
much? I know it sounds crazy. You know, you're like, oh, well, this is my house, and you know, it's right. definitely worth more than that. But right. You know, what's your alternative?
Maybe rent, maybe, I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know. I've thought about renting it out.
It doesn't sound like it's in rentable condition though.
Maybe the next person I do rent it out decide they want to fix it. I'm sure someone will come, you know, will contact me with what I'm looking for.
Yeah. How long have you been trying to sell it?
For about 5-6 months now. I already tried to listen with a realtor. Why did you laugh though?
I'm sorry, Luz. I don't mean to laugh, but Here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say. This environment is not going to get much better than that. You're looking at an environment that things are not getting better in terms of your ability to sell this house. They're actually getting worse, right? So, if I could put $80,000 cash in your pocket right now and allow you to walk away from this entire scenario, right? Now, we can structure it however you want. How much money do you need, right now up front? Do you need 200,000 or in this case, do you need $80,000 right now? If you can give me some time where I could actually put in some work on the property, perhaps I could raise that a little bit. But if I was to, give you some money right now and allow you to let me have some time to do this, how much money would I need to give you right now here today?
Okay, well, okay. So if you want to do the 80, we could do half of that today, right now.
40,000?
Yeah. I like the pause, by the way. You have me thinking too. That's, yeah.
Yeah, 40,000. Is that the best you can do?
That's the best I can do. I went from 200 down to 100. I'm not going any lower than that, Vic.
Okay. All right. So 40,000. That's the best you can do, huh?
Mm-hmm. Take it or leave it. I'm sure someone else. I know it's taken me a while to sell this home, but I'm pretty sure someone will contact me. Another investor, I'm sure, will contact me.
I absolutely love your enthusiasm, especially after 6 months.
Oh no.
And you guys, I actually do this. I laugh with people. We keep it out. We keep it real. And it's like, okay, she's been selling this house for 6 months, but she's optimistic that somebody's going to come along and magically give her exactly what she's looking for. And the truth is that very little chance of that happening. But you can't just come out and just say that. So that's where I try to inject a little humor and get them to kind of get a sense of how ridiculous that sounds. Like, things are not getting better, they're actually getting worse, so Alous, let me think about this 40,000. Alous, let me ask you: do you need all of the 40,000 up front, or can we, can I give you maybe 10,000 and lock this deal down, and you give me some time to do a little bit of the work and everything, and then we we cash you out in say 12 to 18 months?
Okay.
Can we do something like that?
That sounds good to me. Yeah, if we can do 12 to 18 months, that's a long time. That's good. It's not too long.
Perfect. All right. So if I send you over, I can put this in writing right now and send it over to you. How long would it take for you to review it, and we can reconvene? Can we do it at 4 o'clock?
Yes, I mean, go ahead and send it over, but I would like to have my my attorney look it over just to make sure everything is right.
How soon is your attorney going to be available for us?
Give me about 24 hours.
Okay, so tomorrow at 4 p.m. you and I could reconvene, and by that time you would have talked to your attorney?
Right.
Okay, so assuming that everything is on point, I'm assuming you're only going to have your attorney look at the wording of the document and make sure that you're covered and protected, right? But the numbers, the numbers and everything make sense to you? You're good. You're good with what we're proposing?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, because it's basically I'm going to put $10,000 in your hand. I'm going to take this completely off of your plate. We're going to put your parents' house into a real livable condition that you'll be proud of. Okay, and then we're going to make sure that you get the rest of your money within 12 to 18 months. I'm going to get all that in writing, and so all of that's agreed upon. Yes.
Let me ask you a question, Vic. Can we do 20 instead of the 10? Let's do 20 now.
I'll be honest with you, I've only done so much, due diligence on this property. I really can't go more than 10, right now. Let's get this agreement in place, and then, I can do some more work, including visiting the property, taking a look at it, getting everything locked in. It might be a possibility later on that we can, revisit something if I find that maybe it's not as bad as I'm imagining in my mind right now. But right now, the best I can do is the 10,000. Could we move forward with that, or maybe not?
Okay, we'll move forward. If that's
Okay.
if that's all you can do right now, we'll go ahead and move forward. Yeah.
Great. I'll get all that in writing and get that over to you, and we can talk about what our next step is going to be, and I will reconvene with you tomorrow at 4 o'clock on this particular property. And when I talk to you at 4 o'clock, what's going to happen then? We're going to sign and move forward. Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, if there's any
assuming everything is exactly as we just
Right.
described.
Right. Yeah.
Great. You seem like a woman of your word. I'm going to hold you to that, and we'll chat about this. Now, I didn't forget about Bay Street. Tell me about Bay Street.
Don't worry about Bay Street. Don't worry about Bay Street. We'll talk about Bay Street. I have to think about Bay Street because Bay Street is in great condition. I don't want to rent it out. I want 200,000 for it, nothing less.
Okay. All right. Let's lock this one in right here. Let's get Main Street out the way. If you can give me the information on Bay Street, I would like to start doing some due diligence on it and see kind of what it looks like and everything. Do you have any photos of either one of these properties you can send over to me?
Yes, I can send you some picture photos. I'll send photos of both properties.
Okay, great. If you can send me some photos to, Victor@thewalkerrealtygroup.com, that way I can reply to that email with the documentation and everything like that. But just in case something gets hung up, what is your email?
Oh, it's aluslubin2007@gmail.
Nice. Okay, great. Alus, I'm going to get this ready for you. I'll get it over to you within the next hour, and we will reconvene tomorrow. If you have any questions in the meantime, if your attorney has any questions or any concerns, please let me know as soon as you know. That way we can just kind of knock it out. And tomorrow, when we talk at 4 o'clock, we can start moving forward and we can start, going to work on the property. Okay.
Sound good.
It was a pleasure speaking with you, Alus. You have any questions for me before I go?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Yay! That was good. I was actually trying to steer you towards a subject too, just to hear how that sound. How you
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that was the goal.
Now, keep in mind that at this point, it could still be a subject too.
Okay.
What I wanted to do in this conversation was I wanted to get a number that I know I could work with you. I can pretty much structure this anyway and sell it for $10,000.
Gotcha.
That part's easy. So basically what I've done out of this conversation is I have put myself in position to take control of this property, which has the potential of about 200,000. I'm able to control it at 10,000. Mm-hmm. That part, that's not hard. You know what I'm saying? That's I can sell it for that price. Everything else we can work out. But what I need now is to get this agreement and get it under contract so that now you and I can figure out the rest as we go.
So
I can come back to you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Vernon, is that you trying to get in?
Can you hear me?
Is that Philip?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of background noise, Philip.
I know. I'm under the bridge. I'm under Manhattan Bridge right now.
Okay. Try to give us a call. Try to get back on once you get out from under there because we can't hear you. Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions, any comments, any feedback, or anything like that on that little role play? So again, you know, what I'm trying to accomplish right now is I'm trying to get a contract on this deal. I'm trying to lock it in. I'm trying to lock it in at a price point that I know I can sell.
Mhm.
I can sell 10,000. And also notice that we went from $200,000, that's what I want from my property, to where I'm now paying $10,000. I can structure this in any number of ways and sell it, right? Let's see. Philip says, could she refinance or the house and take subject to on it? Yes, yeah. One thing that I don't want to do on these particular calls is I don't want to get into every possible scenario that is possible in these transactions, because we have in our minds, especially now, because subject to seems to be like the hot topic going on all over the place right now. So everybody wants to do subject to, whatever. Just so you guys know, man, subject to is not an easy deal. And subject to also requires that you come out of pocket a little bit. It also requires, besides you coming out of pocket for the subject to, and if you're not going to come out of pocket for the contract, you need to come out of pocket to make sure that your paperwork and everything is in order. You have to make sure that an attorney is involved. When you're talking about a brand new person just starting in the game, the last thing that they can do is spend every dime of profit in a subject to structure, because they are not easy deals. There's a number of different contracts that are involved. And if you're smart, you're going to make sure that those deals are looked over by an attorney. I have yet to find an attorney that is cheap. So you could spend a little bit of money doing a whole subject to process. So when we're doing these role plays, yes, there are a number of ways I could have went with this deal. It's a free and clear house. It's at a price point that is in the wheelhouse of most buyers. There is a huge market to turn it around and resell this property. I have a whole lot of things that I can do with this, including subject to. My goal on this call is to get it under contract at a price point that I have flexibility with. That's my only goal. That's my only goal. I need to get, later on, I could say, you know what, here's some other options for you. But at this point right now, I need this house at $20,000, at $10,000. I can sell this to a cash investor, to an investor. I can even come out of my own pocket if I want to move this deal forward and I see opportunity for myself, and I could do a subject to or something, and then turn around and maximize the amount of money that I can make on this. Not the purpose of this call to try to figure out every possible option. The purpose of this call is to get it under contract at a price and at an upfront cost that gives me the maximum amount of flexibility on the back end. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my only purpose for this call. Let's get this thing under contract. Let's get it at a price point that I have the maximum amount of flexibility. If you guys are investors, right? Let's put all of you guys in the cash buyer seat. You're an investor. You look and buy and hold stuff. You know, you can do some rehab, you can do whatever. You got some other properties in this area. And if I can get you into this contract for $20,000, I know that right now I can make $10,000 and just walk away and be done with it. Would you turn down $10,000 right now? Or would your mind go to, well, you know, there's $70,000, there's $80,000, that all depends on where you are, right? That all depends on where you are. If you're at the front end of your investment experience, your investment business building process, $10,000 probably changes the game for most of us, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. $10,000 changes the game. Now you have a little breathing room, you have a little flexibility, you can afford to go out and get some more leads. You have some things that you can do now with so now you have the option to turn right around and you can sell this deal for $20,000 up front. Trust me. Right? It's a done deal. I can put this in the marketing funnel right now today and have a buyer tomorrow on a deal like I just set up with her. It's a wrap. But I'm also going to sit down tonight and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to be like, okay, how can I maximize the potential profit out of this deal? And I may actually reintroduce something else after the fact if I can put all my ducks in a row. But I'm now doing that under contract. Does that make sense? I didn't confuse her with a whole bunch of, well, how does a subject to work? And wait a minute, now you mean I have to go and sign over my house, but I'm still on the loan? Now I'm going through all of that. No. I want a contract. We can go through all that later. Once we build relationship, once I have her on my team, once she sees that I know what I'm doing, once I have her confidence, now I could say, by the way, Alus, there's some other options in this for you. I'd like to, maybe go over a couple of things that will actually give you a lot more benefit than what I had proposed initially. Now that offer, obviously, it's in writing, it's still there. I can fulfill on that if you want me to. But look, let's take a look. Have you ever heard of something called a subject to deal? No, probably not. Well, let me give you an idea how it works. Boom. And now I introduce the subject to deal. But I'm introducing the subject to deal from a position of strength. I'm already under contract. Does that make sense, guys?
Hey, Victor.
Hey, Jimmy.
How you doing? Can we role play that? How would you do it? Actual seller, buyer, can we role play it?
Role play, moving it to a subject to deal?
Yeah, how would we actually, the same way you actually broke it down, can we actually do like a live role play?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so Jimmy, I want to talk to you about Main Street. You and I obviously are under contract. We have already set this up, but I see an opportunity here that might actually be advantageous for you. Is that something we can talk about right now?
That's something we can actually talk about. That I'm all ears. What is it?
Have you ever heard a subject to or seller carryback? Are you familiar with any of those terms?
No, I'm actually not. I never heard that before. Could you educate me?
See, here's what it does. It allows you, especially in this case, because it's a free and clear house, it allows you to actually act as the bank. And what it will do is it'll give you a monthly income on this property, and it would also allow you to have the first right of, taking the property back in a foreclosure or anything like that. But you now basically become the bank on this property.
Okay, wow. That sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
What is it that we got to do?
Well, all we would have to do is there's some paperwork and stuff that we have to fill out. We'll put it into an escrow situation where everything will be handled for you. Basically, all you'll be doing is you'll be collecting a check every month. You and I need to obviously sit down and go through the details about how much we're going to, put in there on the front end, how much we're going to write the contract for. And then we'll go ahead and set everything up through my attorney. So right now, let's talk about the numbers.
Okay.
All right. So you would be doing a mortgage for, say, $100,000.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll be looking. I don't normally like to charge to do interest on these things. Is that something you're okay with?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, all right. So we'll do the math on the payments on $100,000. Okay, So you will be collecting that on a monthly basis. You will be the holder of the note on that. The new buyer will come in and they will put down the difference. They'll put down a down payment, and it would be a pretty substantial down payment, and you will carry the note on the rest, and you will receive monthly payments on the balance of your equity.
So am I dealing directly with you, or is it somebody else I'm dealing with?
You're gonna be dealing with the buyer. I have someone who is going to be purchasing the property from us. So everything's gonna be set up with them. They're going to be the ones. You'll have the opportunity to see all of the qualifications that go into that process, and everything else. You'll be on point as far as knowing everything there is to know about them. Is that something that sounds feasible for you?
What if I actually don't want to deal with nobody else but directly you? Will that actually, stop us from actually working together? Because I don't really know the buyers that you're referring to, and I actually got trust with you, and I like you and stuff like that. I prefer to deal directly to you.
That is not a problem, actually. If I could actually stay in the middle, and we can set up something where I'll make sure that everything is working, and everything is working to your favor and everything like that. That's not a problem at all. I could definitely set that up, and I appreciate the confidence that you're showing in me right now.
No problem. You're welcome. Yes, I prefer that then. And if you're able to stay in the deal to make sure everything's okay, anything happens, I just contact you. We stay and communicate. I don't see we should even have a problem of moving forward.
Absolutely. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you over an agreement that sort of just spells out everything that you and I have talked about, and then I will start to send you some pre-qualified buyers for this, and you and I can together go through qualifying them and making sure that you're comfortable with it and with their background. And I do a complete credit check. I do a background check, and a criminal background check, as well as their tenant history. So I try to find high quality individuals, and you will have right of first refusal if you're not comfortable. How's that sound?
That sounds great with me. I appreciate you, man, for all the work that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely get this done. Make sure you get the money you need. Put you in a very attractive tax advantage situation, and also have you on the monthly cash flow, along with a pretty substantial upfront down payment.
Oh, man, I love it already, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Just can't
Absolutely.
wait.
Absolutely. Let's get this moving forward. I will get these documents over to you. Will you be available around 7 o'clock to discuss anything that might be an issue on any of the documents or anything?
Yes, I'll be available around 7.
Perfect. I will talk to you at 7. We've dealt with each other up to this point, and you're a person of your word, and I really enjoy working with you. So I don't expect that I'm going to have to be chasing you at 7, right, Jimmy?
No, you actually wouldn't have to. You actually confirmed with me. You gave me your word. I got no choice to give it right back.
I appreciate that, Jimmy. I love working with people of your quality.
Definitely
looking forward to it. I'll talk to you. I'll get this over to you right now. If you don't receive it in the next hour, I'll pull my coattail, because that means something got hemmed up, and I want to definitely make sure you have it before we talk at 7. Okay.
Sounds great, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jimmy.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So pretty simple in terms of that. You got some feedback, Jimmy?
And that was actually good. I like the break down the process and the way you kept stroking me and nurturing the conversation.
And actually, I really don't mind staying in the middle, because it just gives me an opportunity to
make more money,
price it in such a way that I can actually earn a monthly income from this, even if it's just $100, right?
Correct. Make more money.
I could give you everything that you want and still profit from it, and I won't be. The reason I said I'll stay in the middle is because my time is actually being paid for.
Correct.
Yeah, without costing you anything.
Of course not.
Yeah. So It's a good deal. I appreciate you bringing that up and allowing me to you know, do that little role play. You guys got any questions, any feedback?
I do have a
mighty
question.
quiet on the way. Oh, there's my girl.
Okay, so initially you said that you would purchase my property for 10K, right? But now with Jimmy, I guess maybe I'm overthinking it, because now you're saying that you'll have your buyers buying the property. So it's a little confusing to me now.
Well,
with subject to,
I have a contract with you.
right,
In that contract, I offered you a $10,000 down payment,
right,
to which you agreed to.
right.
If I came back to you and offered you the opportunity to get more money and to get monthly payments by acting as the bank, is that a conversation we can have, or maybe not?
Yeah. It was
That's the same conversation I just had with Jimmy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I was already under contract for 10. We already have an agreement in place.
Right.
I just basically showed him how he could even fatten this up to his advantage.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. And he was like, oh, wow, that sounds even better.
Right.
So now he's in position. He's secured in terms of the property still access security. You know, he feels a little more comfortable because now he has the security of the property. If this goes bad, worst case scenario, he gets a fixed up property back.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right, I get it now.
Not a bad hookup, right?
Not bad at all.
Hookup. So that's where I was going with it, right? You on the first part, I locked it in at a price point that gave me the maximum flexibility to move this property. Right? At $10,000, any investor will chip off, you know, $20,000 for this deal, and take over my contract. I put $10,000 in my pocket. I wash my hands. I say goodbye. It was wonderful. I'm on to the next deal. But I've made 10K. You know, 10K for you know, a couple hours worth of work. I'll take it all day, every day. Right? But if there is some option though, some opportunity now for us to get even more of this thing done, because I can come back to him and say, you know, let's wrap this around. Let's put you in the bank position. Let's get you, you know, a nice little chunk. You and I can actually split the down payment. Now that we're doing, you know, we have the opportunity to do the work. There's a whole lot of options available to us now that I can introduce him to, make him a part of, allow him to get more benefit, and at the same time extract more money for myself.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that was basically that conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Victor, one more question. In the very beginning, you actually locked the property by what, a subject to or owner?
No, I locked the property up as a wholesale deal, where she was asking 200,000. I think that was before you actually came online. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she wanted 200,000 for free and clear property. And so, you know, I kind of, you know, we negotiated back and forth. I made clear to her the amount of work that was going to be necessary to get the property done. We agreed on a price of 80,000. And I told her that I could give her, you know, $10,000 right now to lock down the deal. And that she would give me 12 to 18 months to come up with the rest.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm under contract. I have 12 to 18 months to either decide to do the work myself or to flip this contract to an investor who'd be willing to, you know, do the rehab project and, you know, do whatever, or, you know, maybe even to a handyman tenant buyer.
Okay, I got it.
Very good.
Yeah. So now I just basically the whole idea of this was to put myself in a position where I have the maximum amount of options. And one option would even be to come back to her and redo this deal and position myself to possibly, you know, hold on to this property in some way as a subject to.
Got you.
Yeah. But the only problem with this as a subject to, obviously for me directly, would be that the amount of work that's necessary. I don't know if I want to do that yet.
Vic, how are you actually gonna hold on to it as a subject to?
Well, I mean, I could come back into this and become a principal in this deal.
No, meaning that, no, I'm trying to figure out the subject to. How are you gonna, basically when you create the note with her, then you're gonna become you're gonna end up wanting to take over the payments or something?
Well, when I create the note with her, I am either I'm going to buy some time. I have 18 months, right? So I'm either going to decide if I'm going to hold on to this and do the rehab myself. If I do the rehab myself, I'm going to do the rehab, get it up to snuff, and I'm going to put it back on the market. That's probably going to take me about, anywhere from 4 to 6 months. I'm going to put it back on the market at an attractive price. I'm going to be the owner of record at this point, right? I have the contract on this property. So now I can renegotiate, and I could come back to her and say, okay, if you can carry a note for the amount that I owe you. And so now I'm in the middle.
Okay, so it's not going to be a subject to when you come back. It's going to be a note, correct?
It's going to be a note, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I said subject to it. It's really going to be a note, because right now it's free and clear.
Okay, I got it now. All right,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Subject to is when you with the
subject to the
you're
existing
actually taking over
financing.
the payments. Okay.
Yeah, when it's subject to the existing financing. So that's probably a misnomer. I apologize, you guys. Thanks for pointing that out.
No problem.
Yeah. So there is no existing financing outside. In a way, there is, because we created a term for a repayment, right? So I have 12 to 18 months. So in essence, there is a note existing per se. So I can actually even wrap that up inside of my deal and buy some more time, and maybe give her a little bit more chunk, and then have her carry it back like a note. But like you said, it's not subject to, it's a note.
Victor.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so just say there was a small balance on the mortgage. Just say she owed $40,000 to the bank. Can you still structure a subject to with that? Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what a subject to is. In fact, that's closer to a subject to than what I described, because it's subject to the existing lien.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still, this has been a big help for me. I really kind of had questions about what a subject to actually was.
Yeah. So, and that's basically all it says. It's subject to the existing financing on the property.
Okay.
So what we're going to basically do is wrap around the existing financing. We're not going to pay it off. We're not going to do any of that. She's going to still be on that particular note, but we're going to now be responsible for making the payments and everything. And the payments in this case will cover the note plus some additional monies for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You know what? Claude tried to sneak in on us again. He's been doing this regularly and been paying us visits, and we get excited every time he shows up. So of course you're not going to get to sneak in. I'm going to invite you in, and I'm going to invite you to say hello to the crew and to share some of your wisdom with us. Hey everybody, Claude Diamond, the creator of the Guts Sales System.
How you guys? I love to just listen to you guys sometimes. How you doing? Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, good afternoon, Claude.
Hello. Hey.
Morning. Good afternoon.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
How is everything with you? How's the weather up there in Colorado?
It is 50 degrees with 35-mile-an-hour winds. We got 2 inches of snow the other day here, so the mountaintops are all. In fact, let's see if I can show you a picture.
Wow.
Can you let me share the screen for a second?
Absolutely. Let me see if I can.
And I just took these pictures. And if I can find it, yeah, there it is.
Okay, see if you can do it now.
There we go. And let me see if I can. And I'll show you guys real fast here.
There you go.
I just took that this morning
Oh, wow.
during my run.
How far did you run today?
I'm a
Wow.
little I've only done 7, so I'm going to run another 3 miles this afternoon and catch up. That was outside this morning. Let me see if I have some. Let me see if I have something. I have some others that are really pretty.
You are a beast.
Let's see here.
That's nice.
Is that your place?
No, this is about. Well, it's from my place. It's the view of my place towards the other place.
Okay, got it.
That is the house of the former. On that street where that house is, there's some really nice custom homes there, $1 million homes, and is the former general manager of the Broncos lives there. And
wow.
Great guy, him and his wife, and they're from New Jersey, and Claudia and I are from New Jersey, and I know nothing about football, which is why he always invites me over, because I'm the only friend who never asks him for tickets.
Exactly.
Here's a little video I did this morning. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see the smaller one. If you can make it bigger, that would be great. I don't see the video moving. It's still a still shot.
Oh, okay. It's not moving?
No, it's still a still shot. Yeah.
Okay. Son of a gun. Thought that would be a good one. Anyway, that's kind of my morning run, what I see out here. I go on these little trails. They call them single tracks. And sometimes I walk a lot. Most of the time I run or a light jog. And, you know, it's kind of my routine and everything.
How has that impacted your business to be, you know, in the kind of health condition that you know, in the regimen that you have, and keeping yourself in that kind of shape? How much impact do you think that's had on your success?
You know, all the money in the world is not worth one day of being sick. How many of us have had a family friend or a grandparent or somebody who became ill and you know, they couldn't walk, they couldn't drive, they couldn't function and everything like that.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal is to be as healthy as I am today on my last day on the planet.
Nice.
You know, all the money, it doesn't matter how, you know, there's who wants to be the richest guy in the graveyard? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So money is important, believe me. You know, money gives you freedom. You know, and it gives you peace of mind. It reduces stress. Okay. The one thing I love about this business is that it gave me that freedom. You know, we've all had times in our life where we had to watch every penny, or we had more month than money. I've had that too. So I'm very respectful of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've always tried to, I think The Richest Man in Babylon, I forget the name of the author. Help me. Somebody help me. Richest Man in Babylon. Famous book. And he said, for all you, who is it?
Is it Napoleon Hill?
It's not Mandino, is it? It's not Og Mandino. I can't remember.
That might be it.
That might be it.
I think you're right.
It might be Og Mandino, yeah.
And Og Mandino said something very profound. He said, for all you earn, 10% is for you to keep. So in this country, for some reason, we don't teach finance to our kids. You know, I was lucky. My parents talked about money on the dinner table. Most parents don't do that in front of the kids. Mine did, because they had their own little business, a little grocery store in New York City. Uh-huh. They were immigrants. So they talked about, oh, should we buy this? Do we need this? We have too much of that. So I kind of was in a business atmosphere. But if we get $1, and we know we got to pay taxes and everything, and that dollar is really 85 cents, should we spend $1.50 or should we spend 75 cents? You always know when Philip Kyles comes on.
Oh, you know. I have to mute him. Yeah. He's actually driving right now. He's someplace in a tunnel on the way to New York.
but you know, if you have like somebody asked me, and this is a good topic if you want to discuss it, because that was a great question. Someone asked me, Claude, a lot of the gurus are talking about a recession in 21, depending on the election and the pandemic and all. Are we going into a recession? And it's a possibility. We've had a good long ride. I don't know if we are. The economy's still pretty healthy. The stock market is pretty good still. People are starting slowly to go to work, but there's over 10, Wall Street Journal, I think, said today, there's over 10 million people unemployed right still. How fortunate we are. We're talking about how we can do a business from our homes with just a computer and Wi-Fi. But if the recession comes, are we all going to have a little cushion? Say recession comes, real estate starts to make an adjustment. Real estate goes up and down, and it's been going up for a good long time. It might, there might be parts of the country. I'm thinking, if I had to predict, I think some of the cities might see a dip in real estate. They've been so high for so long, and there's a little bit of an exodus now because of the pandemic. People are moving to the burbs and the urban areas, And so what's going to happen to those $1 million condos on Madison Avenue in New York City, right? Or Miami Beach or something like that. Felipe, the legend Bosans is here. Felipe, what's going on in Miami? Got to unmute yourself.
Let me unmute myself. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So the housing market, it's kind of mixed because we have, everything that it's like single family, it's super hot right now. Like interest rates are super low. People are like realtors are super busy with buyers. Everything that it's a condo, it's been kind of slow, but yeah, there's the market is hot, and I agree with Claude. There has to be some kind of correction. It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We've had a long healthy ride since 2012 that we have started picking up. So it's a great time to be in this industry, to have this kind of business. Like there's people that right now, imagine people that have restaurants or brick and mortar businesses. We're very, very fortunate. So we have to be thankful that we're able to run the business the way we do.
Yeah.
NPR said this morning that when this pandemic is over, it might cost the United States of America $12 trillion to get back on its feet. $12 trillion. I read the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. I listen to NPR in the morning. Somewhere in there is the truth, and I take these little bits of information. And we don't know when a recession is coming. We know that it's going to come. When it does, are we prepared to take advantage of it? Okay. What does Warren Buffett do when things get nervous?
He buys.
He buys a lot of stuff. He does his great when. Yeah, 2000. Remember 2007 going into 2008 with the bank collapse and stuff. He bought Sotheby's, Prudential. He bought so many different companies.
Yeah, he even started the real estate company out of the recession.
Yeah, Sotheby's and Prudential, I believe. So
yeah.
So while everybody else is doing the little Chicken Little thing, the sky is falling. Be prepared. This is why sales skills are so important, because you have to, as long as you can persuade another person in any kind of economy, up, down, recession, depression, bull market, bear market, you can still put food on the table. You can still make money.
Yeah.
But you have to, what did Charles Darwin say? The
survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. What was the origin of the species? Why do some species exist? And other species just are extinct or disappear. Why isn't the dodo bird here anymore? Why are dinosaurs gone? But yet crocodiles and alligators, Felipe has them for lunch every day. There are people who really, they really eat. You know what alligators prove in Florida? They really serve alligator, don't they, in Florida?
I think in the Everglades. No, one time they wanted me to try it, and I'm like, thank you, but no, thank you. But I I mean, alligator boots. Maybe I will wear one of these days together with my Max Award just to like show off. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, they definitely sell. They definitely sell. They call them gator bites in Florida, Louisiana. It's like chicken tender type thing, but it's gator.
It's gator,
Alec,
yeah.
you know what that proves, Jason? That anything you bread and deep fry enough is edible.
No doubt.
You were talking about some of the economy and the economy is segmented into areas. A lot of what you're seeing in the numbers has to do with the with the hospitality industry. The hospitality industry has spilled more people into the numbers that you're seeing. And the reason it hasn't affected the housing market is because we're still on the positive side of supply and demand as far as this is concerned, right? Like there is still way more demand than there is supply. That may shift a little bit, but I like you, I don't expect it to fall off the cliff in terms of that. And in the high market areas, they're not seeing a whole bunch of decline because rich people seem to be getting richer. And they're nimble enough to move into segments of the market that allow them to maintain their incomes and even increase their income. So as long as you recognize where the problem is and stay away from there, I don't expect, like you said, there'll be some adjustments in pricing as supply and demand starts to adjust a little bit. But we are still in a great seat as far as, moving forward in this game.
You can always make money, Victor.
Mhm.
You just have to adjust. Okay, if the market goes down, there's going to be people who are going to have trouble paying for mortgages and stuff. That'll be a great opportunity to pick up lease purchases. Recessions are great for picking up good homes in good neighborhoods and being able to negotiate wonderful terms on a lease purchase. You remember 2007 going into 8, people were scared. There were some people who lost 50% equity like that on their homes and stuff like that, but they still had the big mortgage, even though the value went down and they couldn't turn it over. There's opportunities in any market.
Absolutely.
If you can adjust, but if you're just, if you're just locked in to one way of doing business, then you're gonna go down that slippery slope like everyone else. I have a question. Would you like to do, this just happened today. Would you like to play What Would You Do?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you guys. This came in today.
Okay.
That's a PayPal.
Yeah.
Victor.
That's the money you put in your sock drawer?
That went, that's the PayPal account. Just today.
That's chump change for you.
Yeah, that gets I respect money. There was a time in my life, I remember a time in my life, I used to do the blue light special at Kmart for $3 an hour or something like that.
Wow, yeah.
That's right. Kmart shoppers, that blue light of savings is blinking for you in the automotive department. Pennzoil oil, 3 for $1. Still can do it. So what would you do? This is a little game we played on Monday.
Okay.
And Victor, you up for it, or should we delegate it to somebody?
I'm up for it.
Okay. Ring.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Walker, Claude Diamond told me to call you. He said maybe you could help me. Do you have a minute, sir? I'm sorry to bother you to come out of nowhere.
Sure. What can I do for you?
Well, I got my grandmother's home here. It's free and clear. It's worth $1.2 million, and I want to convert it to a rent to own. I was talking with Claude, and he said you live right near this property, and you're the guy to talk to. Can I ask you a couple of questions about renting to own grandma's home?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a really nice home. It's 4,200 square feet. It's in perfect condition. It has a huge lot around it. It's clean as a whistle. And I figured I can rent this thing out for at least $2,500 to $3,000 a month. And that's money I could really use.
Okay.
How do I go about doing that? Do I need a special contract and what's this option money about?
Oh, well, I could possibly help you out with that. I do have some agreements and things that I could send over to you. Do you?
Oh, that'd be great. And I want to
you-
pay you for, I want to pay you. Claude told me I shouldn't take much advantage of you. or
That's
anything.
okay. I wouldn't let you take advantage of me anyway. but but yeah, I can put a package together. I have some stuff for you to show you how to, understand the value of the property and what you can get for rents and all the contracts you need for getting it together. Now I do charge a little bit for that.
Oh, that's fine. That's fair.
Okay.
I want to pay you for your time. What will that run me? And
Oh, I charge $2,500 for it. Are you okay with that?
wow, yeah, I thought it'd be
Yeah.
a lot more money than that. That's
Okay.
that's great. I'll give you a credit card right now. What do I get for that?
You get to get the contracts, and you also get me to walk you through the entire process and help you to make sure that you're protected and everybody has what they need.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And can you recommend like an accounting or billing service, management company? So, because I've, and how to.
Absolutely can.
Oh yeah, and I can call you up anytime and ask you a few questions, or.
Well, Claude, yeah, you can call me up anytime that's reasonable.
Okay.
Don't call me at midnight or 1 a.m. because I won't answer anyway. But you can leave me a message at that time.
Okay, what should we do now? What should we do next?
Let me go ahead and get that credit card number.
Boop boop boop. Here, you got it. Okay, give him a round. He did that out of nowhere. He only did one thing wrong.
What'd I do wrong?
He said his price first.
Well, that too.
Okay, two things wrong.
You're close on that. This was a $1.2 million property. What was on a 1 through 10?
Wow, yeah.
What was the emotional level of the prospect, a person calling him?
10.
What can we do with a 10?
Oh, we can.
Anything.
We gotta be careful. We gotta be careful
Yeah.
with the 10 because it can only go down from there. And remember that we have to fight for it. We have to struggle a little bit. Oh, gee, I don't know if I can help you. But I'm book solid, but let me see how. Oof. I mean,
Look, my favorite line would be, what would you pay a realtor or an attorney to help you do this? A realtor would charge 3 to 6%, probably 6% of 1.2 million. Someone do me the math. What is that? $40,000? 6% of 1.2.
Yeah, 60 grand, right? 60 grand, 1 million.
a little bit more. It's actually more like
60 grand.
60,000.
Yeah.
What would an attorney who had the capabilities of Victor or Felipe, what would that attorney, what do you think that attorney would charge?
A bunch. 10 grand.
At least.
Yeah, at least 10 grand.
At least.
To get started, a retainer of 10, 15, just to to sit down to talk. And every time that you call, the clock is ticking. So it's like, it's like a prepaid card. You have to just keep putting more and more money in. I mean, attorneys are great people. Take it from. I'm a recovering law student, and Claude is a recovering attorney. But attorneys can more than break deals. So we need to address them right away whenever they bring up the attorney. The system is the same. The gut system is the same. I mean, when you talk to you can talk to your attorney, but my offer is on the table till 4:30 today, sir. After that,
what do you think, Felipe? What do you think are 3 to 6 needs and greeds, the most psychological triggers for the role Victor played? What were at least 3, 6 is better, emotional things we could have done to add some zeros to that 2,500?
High-end property. He was, the motivation is high, it's just the guy's a 10 out of 10. So you got to be careful with there.
Why is his motivation so high though? You got to go deep on this stuff.
Because it's a lease purchase deal, right?
Yeah. And does he know how to do a lease purchase? I'm going to use
a lot of hand holding. So being the authority, like somebody that it's like when we talked, what was it, 2 weeks ago? It's like this guy came to the doctor's office. So, asking more questions, getting deeper into really what's his why? Why does he want to do the deal? And how much is he, is he thinking? And plus, he has other options. He has attorneys. He has realtors. Our option, everybody's insecure. I like to think about it in terms of everybody's a chicken shed. We all are. I'm biggest chicken shed in the world. But what I'm saying is that it's that, like having the option of going to the doctor for a more competitive rate than, just giving up 6% with a realtor. That's where the value is. It's a huge meet and greet. I mean, he came to you with a problem. He came referred.
Felipe, you're a smart young man. Why?
I'm not so sure about that.
Why do you think you need me today to help you with the grandma's home? Can't you could figure it out yourself, can't you?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm very overwhelmed with this. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid that if I make the wrong decision, I'm going to leave money on the table. So, yeah. And Claude told me to give you a call. I mean, Victor told me to give you a call, and he said that you're the man to talk to.
Yeah, you brought up a good point here. I know people who have done these deals wrong. They did the contracts wrong. They got insufficient option money. They didn't fill out the contract correctly. And it came back to haunt them with fortune and legal fees and everything. So you're pretty smart to want to do this the right way. Are you prepared? Are you budgeted to spend a little money so we could do this the right way? I hope you don't mind talking about money.
No, I mean, and I appreciate that. I am. I mean, I need to get this done. It's my grandma's house. It's worth 1.2. I don't want to list it. I don't want to have it on the market for 6 months. Everything. It's kind of a lot of uncertainty. I don't want to be doing open houses. I mean, when you say money, what does that look like? Just off the record.
Well, a good question. I'm glad you brought it up. Imagine for a moment you had either a realtor that you paid them 6% of 1.2 million, or you had an attorney who charged you $300 to $500 an hour and billed you for hundreds of hours, stuff like that. You came to me with a problem. I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. I'm going to provide you with the contracts, and I'm available on a reasonable as needed basis. So we set this up right. We market it right. Imagine for a moment, listen to my words. Imagine for a moment in the next 30 days, we get someone in that beautiful house and you get a check for $3,500 every month. How would that?
Can you do that?
Let's pretend I could. What would you say to me next?
I say, sign me up. Where do I have to sign?
Okay. And that'll be $18,500.
Oof. And can you guarantee results?
Suppose I could. What would you say to me next?
It depends on the guarantee.
Suppose I could guarantee it to your personal satisfaction, and we get people in there in the next 30 to 60 days. What would you say to me next, sir?
I feel like I'm in trial, not in a consultation, but yeah, I would say yes.
Is that yes? I'm sorry. Which was it? Absolutely yes.
I think I could.
Think or no, sir? I don't have the time to. I want to help you here. You came to me through a referral. Do we want to, do we want to do this the right way, or should I leave you alone?
It's 18.5, the very best you can do.
Yes. I usually charge 25, but you came as a referral.
Oh man, I feel honored. So generous of you.
You should. You ready to do business?
Yeah.
And we can get started on this. And maybe in 30 days from now, we have a nice family in there. By the way, you're going to get something called option consideration. We're not just going to let someone move in there without putting some skin in the game. You're going to get some really decent money up front. You're going to get nice people in it. You might sell the property without paying a real estate commission, or they might renew the lease for 3, 4, 5 years. You don't know. But this is a cash cow that you've been waiting all your life for. Do you want to do it right, or should I leave you alone?
Oh man, can I think about it? Can I call you back tomorrow?
No, you're not allowed to think about it. This is the winning lottery ticket, sir. You can cash it in, or we can put it in the shredder. Hear that?
Oh man, I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
You should. This is important.
Yeah, I know it was grandma's house, and money's tight right now. But I was thinking more along the lines.
This is going way too long.
But it is so good, though. But yeah, I mean, that's the difference, guys, between, you know, one level and then mastering the skills that the gut system has to offer. And that's why we're out here practicing every day.
Love it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a great exchange. I just taking it in, man.
Yeah, that's next level right there. We appreciate you so much for
thank you. I apologize for Felipe and I taking over your
yeah, it's a bad habit we have.
Felipe and you have an open invitation to take over whenever necessary. Okay.
And thank you for always doing
guys. Thank you for having us.
This Wednesday group. You know, this is fantastic. I love this. The continuity, the continual practice.
Yeah.
So that it keeps growing every Wednesday. You know, like it's a nice challenger to the Monday call, or actually a nice add-on. I mean,
it's an add-on. Yeah.
It was built by the community. That's awesome, guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. And let's give Victor a round of applause because he's probably one of the best moderators out there. So yeah.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Nice guy too.
Thank you.
Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah,
you know, it's really neat. We have our Monday group call.
Yeah.
Which is a little more formal. Then you have the Wednesday call, which is just wonderful. It's just pure practice. Then I think there's a Friday call also.
Yep.
Somebody else does that, where role play. That's great.
And that's Arturo does that. He talks about his business, and we do role play with that one. And then also Justin does a 5 o'clock today, where more role play.
I do beer with Claude Fridays at
beer with Claude
7 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock Pacific, and we drink beer and just talk about the week and have a lot of fun and stuff like that. It's all, to me, this is real learning here, and it can be fun, hopefully, at the same time.
Yes, I agree. The absolute best way to learn after live calls, it's role play.
Yeah,
and it's elite teams. That's what they do. They practice. They train hard. And when you're doing it on a peer environment like this, where it's like the safe zone, where we can make mistakes, that's fine. And we can also make mistakes with prospects. What's important is to learn from them, guys. There's a system. We use the system. It's not gonna be perfect every single time, but consistency is what makes a difference. So if you mix it up with making your 5 calls per day, plus role playing with people that are like-minded, that they're invested, that they have skin in the game, not only mentally but financially, because making the investment in sales training, it's one of the most important decisions you can make. So that's this is what I really like about this group that you don't get anywhere else. Yeah, I have to go too. I'm actually late for.
Hey, thank you guys.
I get so excited.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, really.
Take care, guys. Have a great one.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, you guys, we're going to wrap up here shortly, but I did want to answer a couple of questions. Digital Autumn, how to get photos if they don't want to take any, what do you say? There's actually a couple of services that you can use. You can also go on Facebook or something, and if there's somebody who's on the area, you can just give them a few bucks to go by and take some pictures for you. There's a couple of different things you can do. Just reach out, even to the group. Say, look, is anybody over in this area? Can you go by, maybe take some pictures, have them have a teenager. They'll always take the pictures, right? They always have a phone and they always have their camera ready. So there's a lot of ways to do it. A couple of people, Paul, how do you say your last name, Paul?
Gebauer.
Gebauer. Hey, welcome, my friend. It's your first time.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm still at the W2, so I find time to get out and they asked me where I'm going, but I'm like, I made some time to come through. So it's really good. I appreciate the feedback. It's really good, Victor. I've caught some of the replays. About to put my name in there. Just kind of see you guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's great having you. You're invited every week. Stop by and share some thoughts with us. If you need
I'd love to. Yeah, it's still my rookie year, so to speak. So
yeah,
I really want to get some time in.
Hey, be around let's get some shots up.
Yeah, brother.
Absolutely. All right. There's someone else by the name of Sam. I don't know if I know Sam either. Sam, welcome to the call. All of my other folks that are here all the time, you guys know I love y'all. Let me do a quick roll call before I sign off. Jason Richter, Paul Gebauer, Alus, my girl, Aaron, Curtis Smith, Jaime Cuevas, Jimmy Jean, Mag, Nehemia, I think that's how he pronounces it. Philip Kyles, Sam, Sandra K. Sandra, all right. Thank you for joining us. Sean Liu and Vernon DeShields, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for supporting the call on Wednesdays. Thank you for all you give. Thank you for showing up and showing out. I will see you guys again next week, okay?
Thanks,
Thank
Vic.
you. Have a great week.
Thank you so much, Victor.
You're welcome.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yeah.
See you next week. Or
Bye-bye.
before that, we'll see you before then, I'm sure.
Right, perfect.
Yep.